Hey there, this is Benjamin from Live Smart Asia here. I believe that parenting can be quite a lonely journey sometimes. Once a month, the Live Smart community gathers together and we learn more together. You're going to be watching one of my closed door sessions that I do monthly for the parents. Now, what's the purpose of this Parent Thrive? That's the reason why we have all this session every month so that we can grow together and thrive together. So, enjoy, watch, and share this video if you want to. See you at the next Parenting Thrive. As parents, right, I want to remind all of us this. As parents, we will always have challenges with our children. Every year, it's the same children, but every year will be a different problem. So it's really up to us, right, to think of solution, to think about what we want to do to make resolutions. Now, today's topic, right, has got nothing to do with Roblox, but the reason why I said that is because based on my experience, I want to jump into a solution and I want to create a resolution. So for all of us who are here today, right, parents, we got to think to ourselves for 2024, what are some of the challenges that we face? Now, instead of complaining about problems, right, let's think about solution on what we can do. So what's my solution? My solution is to sit down with her 30 minutes after a class and to talk about money management. What is your solution for your challenges, for your problems? So what's today's topic about? Today's topic is really about resolution, the roles of family goals in your children's success. So it really depends. What's important for you? To me, money management is important because if my children don't know how to manage money, that's it. You can earn as much as possible, but at the end of the day, they will spend as much as possible. It is not about spending $4 on Robux. $4 is just a start. From $4, it will be $40 and it will start to grow. And they will think that they can spend anything. Now, is there anything wrong spending money on Robux? The answer is no, but I think they should only spend if they have excess money. So I want to teach them money management. I want to teach them the 20-80% rule. Save at least 80%, 20% you can spend, put things aside. So what is your goals? What's your resolution? Once again, this session over here is for all the parents, right? So thank you so much. We got more than 100 parents joining us here for the first session of the year, which is very, very good. Okay, let's keep up the good work. Let's continuously grow together, learn together. Now, so we want to look back on what happened last year, right? What we learned from Yes 21. Have you encourage your children to practice the skills and learn during the workshop? Parents, yes or no? Improve communication by using more encouragement rather than demands. And the third thing over here, set and track your goals together. Now, for those of you parents, right, who wants to follow up with your children and maybe some of them, they don't know, they want to ask some questions. Next week, we will have sessions for the kids, for the children. And then if they got any questions, right, ask us during the session itself. So I want to be able to do this because if your children got challenges and the challenges are not being handled, after a while they will feel that the skills are difficult. They will not use the skills. Then if they don't use the skills and they go back to the old way of studying, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. So I don't want you guys to experience that. I want you to make sure that your children use the skills. I promise you, when your children use the skills, it will be better for them. So next week, if they got problems, use the skills, they don't know how to do it, next week they come ask questions. So I settle this for you. Alright, now today's session, right, is really about what? Clearing your resolution. Can I ask you, what is your plan for 2024 for your family? What is your goal? What is your plan? What's the New Year's resolution? Now, parents, once again, why is it important for you to share with me all of this? Because when you share, when you write things down, you are putting whatever that's in your head into something that's physical, tangible, that you can see. Now, once you do that, the next thing that we got to do is what? Take action on all of this. So for me, like I mentioned to every parents over here, I want to work on my child's financial literacy. There was another interesting story that happened to my child. It's like she went into a new class. Then because she didn't know anybody in the class, her friends helped her to do something. She actually gave the friend money. So once again, she gave friends money because she doesn't know the value of it. So that's the reason why I thought to myself, I need to improve her financial literacy. So different people, right, got different resolution. Should we make resolution? But it really depends. Some of you make it and you achieve it. Some people, after 1 week, they quit already. 43% they quit by the end of January. The other 25%, they cannot even remember what they said. That is why it's important for you to write it down. The other thing that is important, parents, it will be a good habit if you can write it down on a piece of paper and paste it up on the wall so that you'll be able to see all of these things. For me, I write it down in my handphone. So in my handphone, right, I have a group message to myself. I got a few handphone number lines. So I put myself in a group message and I start messaging myself all my resolution, all the things that I want to do. So it's important for you parents, right? Same thing. Whatever you plan, whatever resolution you have, use it. Your WhatsApp, you you can create a group message or you can message yourself and you write it down there. That way you can see, and that way you can start changing the things that you want to do. Now, first and foremost, we got to also understand why resolution fails. Some of it is unrealistic, some of it is not very specific, while some of it is DIY. You are doing it all alone. DIY is tough. When you do it alone, it's tough because why? There's no social facilitation, there's no accountability. Number two, observational learning. You learn best through observing and interacting with people. So when you can do it better with other people, it will be good. Group dynamics and support, it is also very important. So parents, why do I tell you this? Now, very simple. One of the things I will do is find an accountability partner. Now, what's an accountability partner? Somebody you can trust, share your goals with. Now, as parents, who can we find? We can always find our spouse. That means husband, share with wife what you plan to do. Wife, share with husband what you plan to do as well. Last time when we go to workshops, where we were encouraged to, get to know more people, get to mix around with different people. Now, if you want to, you can also share with me your goals. You can drop me an email, right? You can drop me an email. My email is benjamin@livesmart.asia. You can share with me your goals, what you plan to achieve with your family. Then after that, 3 months later, 6 months later, you look back at your email sent and you ask yourself, did you achieve all of this? So all of these are possible ways to make sure that you're tracking. Don't do it yourself. Find people that you can share all of these things with. Family goals is important. When you share with your families, you share it with your children, you write it down, you paste it on your wall. People are learning and people are improving every single day. A family is actually the first school for young children, and parents are extremely powerful role models. Whatever I do, our children follow from us. So where do we start? Set your family's V.I.P. Now, what is V.I.P? V means values. What is important in your family? I, improvements. P, turn your plans into action. One of the values I have is being thrifty, right? Spend only on what's necessary. This is the reason why improvement for me, I want to teach my children financial literacy. I want to make sure that they stop, spending money unnecessarily. So what's my plan? My plan is every week after her class at my office, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to teach her financial literacy. The way I teach other children, I'm also going to teach it to her, right? So V.I.P, values. What's the values? Okay, values are what is important to you, what makes you happy. In short, I give you an example. Let me just give you an example, right? Two people go for holiday. I love to give this example. Two people go for holiday. One person values safety. The other person values freedom and adventure. So let's say, for example, they go to holiday in Australia, and then the person, they chance upon a very big tree, okay, a very nice tree. Now, the person who values adventure, you know what they will say? They will say, look, there's a very big tree over there. Let's climb up and take a picture. But the one who values safety, what do they say? They will say, no, I don't want to climb the tree. What if I climb the tree, I fall down? What will happen to me? It's very dangerous. Along the way, they walk, they avoided the tree, they walk, they see the kangaroo. And then after that, the person who values adventure say, hey, there's a kangaroo over there. Let's go and take picture with the kangaroo. Let's high five the kangaroo. Then the person who values safety say, no, I don't want to take picture with the kangaroo. What if the kangaroo punch me? I get injured. How? Now, two friends with different values, they go to Australia as friends. When they come back, do you think they come back as friends or enemy? They go as friends, or they come back as friends or enemy? Here's my next question. Who is right? Who is wrong? Who's right? Who's wrong? The person who loves adventure or the person who loves safety? Who's correct? Who is wrong? You are absolutely correct. Nobody is wrong. Now, what's the reason I tell you this? You see, both of them go Australia. When they come back, the person A will say, wow, they will complain to the friend, I go to Australia, I want to climb the tree, my friend scared, don't want to climb the tree. I want to take picture with kangaroo, my friend scared, don't want to take picture with kangaroo. Everything I do, my friend scared. Everything also cannot do, my friend scared. Then the other person will go and complain to the friend, say, he want me to climb the tree, so dangerous, want to kill me. He want me to take picture with the kangaroo, so dangerous, want to kill me. But actually, nobody is correct, nobody is wrong. Both of them, they are correct in their own perspective. Parents, why do I tell you this? Because as a family, if you don't have a common value, you will have a lot of problem. For example, husband want to save money, right? Wife want to spend money. If you don't agree on money management, you will have a lot of problem. Same thing with your children. So this is the reason why it is extremely important to understand your family values. Okay? To know exactly what kind of values, because this serves as what? Decision making. What value is acceptable? What is not acceptable? Right? During challenging time, values provide a source of resilience. So it's important for you to know as a family, right? What is important to you? Okay? Now, parents, don't mind. If I were to ask you to choose, what is one of the most important values for your family? Can you share with me in the group chat, right? What do you think is important? Okay? Can you please write it down for me? Okay? Respect, trust, communication. Okay? Right? Okay? Communication. Komunikasi. Right? Respect others. Okay? Seek God first. Protect each other. Grateful. Quality time. Okay. Right. Now, thank you so much for all your answers, right? My next question is this. These values that you feel is important, is it the same or different with your spouse and with your children? So if it's the same, good. If it's not the same, you need to sit down as a family so that things can be consistent together. Okay? So I'm going to say this to you one more time. If you don't have a common set of value, this is where relationships they will grow apart. Same story like I mentioned, two friends go on a holiday to Australia together, they will come back as enemy. What about a family? If a family doesn't have the same values, over time, it's going to be very difficult. Children will have one thinking, father one thinking, mother one thinking, grandparents another thinking. So that's the difficulty itself. Okay? So how do you set values? Ask yourself what's important. Whole family discussions. This is very important. Okay? Now, some people say family discussion is like what? Family meeting. Everybody sit together. It can be as simple as a dinner time. Dinner time, sit together as a family. Sit down, talk, share with people. Right? What's important to you? Prioritize your values. Okay? Right? For example, what do I mean by prioritize? For example, those of you who mentioned quality time. Over dinner, do you allow your children to use handphone? Or over dinner, do you use handphone as well? Quality time, what does it mean quality time? Right? Do you all surrender your gadgets and have like really gadget-free time whereby you can sit down together and just have conversations without the iPad, without the iPhones and all that kind of stuff? Right? When you mention things like put God first, how do you prioritize this value? Do you pray together? Because they say a family that prays together stays together, right? So all of these things you got to ask yourself. Create and post family value statement, okay? And of course, most importantly, model the values, which is every single thing that you do, make sure that these values are being carried out, okay? Right? So, what are the values? Or this one we talked about it already. What is the I? Improvement. Decide which area of improvements for each family member. Study, career, behavior, social, spiritual, personal development, health, and of course, relationship. Okay? So these are some categories. Because sometimes people think like, I'm not too sure what kind of resolutions to set. So these are some of the things that you can set for yourself. Study. This is mainly for your children. Career. Parents, when was the last time you think about your career? Are you happy? Are you not happy? Are there things that you want to do? Right? Behavior. Right? Social. Spiritual. Personal development. Health. Relationship. So this is just a gentle reminder that we got to think of all of these things in a whole. Right? If you don't, why suddenly got the heart shake comes out, right? So you got to think all of this as a whole. If you don't think of all of this as one whole, right, what happens is, if you focus too much on one, then you will lose focus on others. So think about, what are all this important to you, right? Improvement can only start after assessments is done. Observe what you desire carefully. Reflect on your current situation. and then also ask for feedback, right? I know it sounds a little bit weird, but actually you can talk to your husband or to your wife and ask, what are some things that we can improve our relationship? It doesn't only mean that during arguments, then we ask, how can we improve? Because I think for me, sometimes it's like when I argue with my wife, then my wife tells me the problem, then after that, we work on the relationship. So sometimes without arguing, can we also ask, what are some of the improvements that we can make, right? And of course, the P goes down to the plans. Plan things out. Confirm that your family goals are all super. Now, what's super? Parents, this is the same thing that I teach your children, or I'm going to teach your children. Super, the S stands for being very specific. U stands for under control. P, positive. E, emotional. R, realistic. Okay? Break it down. Do small little things, right? Set for yourself small little goals. Like for me, I already mentioned to work on my child's financial goals. I'm actually going to, get them to go through financial literacy class with me. Of course, by the way, I also save my children's money. I don't allow them to manage as yet because they are still pretty young. So I actually save some of the money. Some of the money I actually put into like fixed deposit and stuff, like their ang pao and all that, right? So these are certain things that are important for me. I'm not too sure whether you are doing it, but I think it will be good. Now, some people think that you need to have a lot of money then to save. The answer is no. Saving comes when you don't have money actually, right? When you have more money, you tend to spend a lot more. But when you have lesser, right, it is actually the best time to organize money, right? So have a few, some people in the old time, people have like different jars. They have like different jars. One jar, they put in money for spending. One jar for investing. One jar for another thing. Now, what I realized is recently that banks, they actually can allow you to create multiple wallets and accounts so that you can park money in different places. This is the bank that's in like Singapore. You can park it in this wallet, park it in that wallet. You can actually do the same things as well. All right. 3, of course, set step milestones for yourself. Okay, what are the checkpoints for the different goals that you have? Okay, and of course, assign deadline to different milestones. So make sure your family has got this thing called a V.I.P, right? Now, when you set this V.I.P, how does it impact your children? Children learn best from model behavior. Meaning to say, when you behave in a particular manner, they learn and they see from learning. If you are saving money, they save money as well, right? If you are very punctual, if you value communication a lot, they will roughly do the same thing as well. Okay? Right? Training more communication skills, right? Family goals often require effective communication and collaboration. Okay? When you have open and constructive communication within the family, children are more likely to develop strong communication skills. Also, gain an experience in working as a team. Okay, all these family goals comes with teamwork, cooperation as a family. This in turn will help them to learn how to collaborate and help work as a team eventually when they grow up as well. Okay, of course, getting a sense of time management. Many family goals require effective timing. By the way, it's like when I set a goal to help my child to work on the financial, I don't plan to work on the whole entire world on financial. It has got to be like, we do something about financial, then we do something about academic. We work on individual aspect all year round. Okay, not on just one aspect the full year. Okay, and of course many others benefits like awareness of value, sense of belonging, empathy, conflict resolution, adaptability, flexibility, sense of morality, and also compassion. Okay, now what to do next? Parents, please set your family goal. Okay, please take a picture of this or a screenshot. Now, I know what's the thing that's going to happen. Some of us, we listen, but we don't plan and take things into action. So parents, can I ask you to do just one thing? After the session tonight, either tonight or tomorrow, sit down, ask yourself what's important for you as a family, and then after that, sit down as a family together and plan something. Please do that, all right? Now, just go up to your children and say this. We have already joined the Yes 21 workshop, right? You have learned the Yes 21 workshop. I want to follow up with you for the Yes 21 workshop. I want to be better. I've attended this workshop called Parents Thrive, and I want to work on this family goal. Just say this to your children and get them to sit down together and plan something together. So use this workshop as a focus. Talk to your children, get something planned out together so that we can start growing together. Because I don't want it to be a session whereby you sit down, you listen. Then when we ask you, did you learn something? Yes. Was it good for you? Yes. Did you do anything? No. The real change comes when you do something. So parents, please, right? Take a screenshot of this, sit down, plan your goals carefully. Okay? Now, at this point of time, any questions or not? Any questions? Now, if there's no question, or if you like to ask me any question privately, let me drop you my email. Okay, this is my email over here, benjamin.livesmart.asia. I put it in the group chat already, right? Now, also at the same time, parents, if you ever want to share with somebody your goal, you can actually drop me an email. Alright. Okay. Now, Christine asked me a very beautiful question. How do we encourage children to be more sociable? Now, it really depends on what kind of social level that your children is at. So some of our children, they are not very sociable. Some of our children are extremely sociable. Whatever it is, we want our children to be on the balance end. Okay? Right? Balance, to have a balance. So first and foremost, I think you got to identify, right, this particular behavior, whether your child is sociable or not sociable, when did it started or when did it change? Okay, so Christine, was there like a specific event or something that happened that made her change? If there was an event, then it will be right if we can find out what was the event. If there wasn't an event, nothing happened, but she was always like that, then we got to ask ourselves, was there a conducive environment whereby we allow the children to be sociable? Okay. Pandemic. Okay. Alright. Now this is something that I've been experiencing also, right? A lot of the parents that I travel across Asia, especially if your children are at the age of about 9, 10, 11, 12, a lot of them, they are telling me that during the pandemic, those developmental years, those 3 years, children didn't go to school, they didn't talk and everything, that make a difference. So if the answer is pandemic, then that is an issue. Okay, Christine, in short, your child need to get used to going back to school. School just started maybe about 1 year back for the Philippines, so they are going to take time. The other thing that they need to know is how to make friends. So share with them simple strategies how to make friends. You know, as simple as giving a smile, you know, shaking of hands, as simple as, you know, learning how to open a topic and talk. Okay. Pandemic, I can understand what you mean already, right? If they are not willing to participate in a plan, how to make them excited, okay? In the planning, you mean like goal setting, right? So I know it's going to be a little bit difficult because if it's for the first time you're doing this, then what happens is, you know, it becomes very difficult to, how do I say, organize. So that's the reason why I mentioned that use the Yes 21 workshop as a starting point. Say, you attended the workshop, I'm attending the workshop right now, I want to do something together. Try that, Christina. Christina Wati. Try that and use the workshop aspect to get them to participate to a plan together. Now, the other way that people do is they actually do a competition or they will do a activity. They say, let's sit down together, let's plan, and then at the end of the day, when we plan finish, let's go and have a good outing together. Some people do that. What's a good method to give allowance? Monthly, weekly, or daily? Alinda, depending on your child's age. For me, because my child is about 9 years old, I still give daily, right? Once they know how to manage money, then you start giving them weekly. To manage money, right, children need to differentiate between needs versus wants. Very important, needs versus wants. And then the other thing is savings and spending. So you want them to give them money to spend, but you also want them to give them money to save. Okay, what do you do with the savings? So all of this is not fully allow them to manage, but you help them manage first. Okay, all right. Got a lot of questions, more questions than I expected. Let me go down one by one. Hang on for a while. How to encourage to be more responsible. Edmund, during the program, we use the pain and pleasure. Pain means when they do something right, we minus the points. For example, we have a point system. When they do something wrong, we minus the points. When they do something good, we give them points. So same thing, Edmund. If they do something good, you take away something. When they do something right, you give them something. It can be as simple as the time that you allow them to use their gadgets. I'm not sure whether parents you do that or not. For me, I manage my children gadget time. So if they do something wrong, sometimes I will minus time off, or sometimes if they do something very, very bad, I don't give them gadgets at all. Okay, right? So you got to start managing all of this. Nanda asked me whether you can get PowerPoints. Drop me an email. I will PDF it and send to you. How to make kids do their time management well. Vivi, same thing. Use the pain and pleasure system. When your child do something good, you award them. When your child don't do something good, we minus things off. Right? But of course, when your child comes to your time management, right, get your children to also plan their time. So many. Okay. Novilantina, visual mapping. Why some children don't do visual mapping? I can tell you something. Because it's easier to just read than write. So some of the children, right, they are very used to their old way of studying, right? They just read and read and read. Then, if they are using back to the same thing, there's no point. You want to use a new way. Now, if it's not visual map, then ask them what other ways are there to do notes. Because in the workshop, we tell them there's many different ways. There are 4 to 5 different ways. Okay? How do we get rid of 8-year-old boy trauma from being scolded? Okay, let me share with you. Okay, go and Google this. Google Saka, please go and Google this thing called scramble technique. Okay, Google scramble technique on NLP. Okay, all right. So I write it down here for you. Google scramble technique for NLP. It's a way of visualization. So everything happens in the mind. When you close your eyes, you can adjust things. So for your child who is traumatic, right, it's probably because they've been playing the bad event in their head again and again and again. So what they need to do, learn how to control their mind, close their eyes, stop playing the image, change the image. This technique I have helped with many children. Okay, Saka? Alright, okay, you go and Google that. If you don't know what to do, you drop me a message. I will share with you. Thank you. Okay, 12 years old. How to separate from gadget? Because very hard. Ali, to separate your child from gadget in the first place, right? Don't give them gadget. But right now we got no choice. We give them gadget already, right? Then what to do next? What to do next is limit the time. Parents, can I share with you this, right? I will probably talk to you about this throughout the months, more about gadget addiction. But if your child is already addicted to something, right, you cannot stop the addiction. You got to replace the addiction. What do I mean by replace the addiction? Meaning if they are always using 3 hours, right, if they are using their gadget 3 hours, then you say stop. Your child will feel like, if I don't use gadget for 3 hours, what am I going to do next, right? So you got to replace. 1 hour do something, 2 hours do something, 3 hours do something. Parents, when you remove that 3 hours, right, you got to understand one thing. When your child is not doing this, right, can you be there for your child for that 3 hours? Sometimes my parents will tell me, say, once they don't use gadget, right, they keep talking to me, they keep finding me, or they don't have anything to do. So when you get rid of an addiction, right, it's not getting rid of the activity. You must learn how to replace the activity with something. Okay? Replace the... I'm going to say this one more time. Replacement is very important. You cannot just terminate immediately, right? Replace. Right? So over the weekend, right, I was talking to one of the kids who use the gadgets a lot. So I said, instead of using the gadget to play game, right, can you use the gadget to Google to study? Can you use the gadget to Google to research? So replace a not useful activity with something that's useful first. Okay. I've answered most of the question. If by any chance I miss out the question, don't be angry with me. Just drop me an email at benjamin@livesmartasia. I will actually reply your email. Okay. But give me some time to reply. Okay. Now, just a few announcements before we end the session. Right. Jakarta is having a upcoming introductory workshop. If you have any friends who is interested, on the 3rd and 4th February, we will be at Sempona, Strategic Square or Haris Hotel Kelapa Gading. You can scan here, for this is Jakarta, right? Now, also at the same time, 24th, 25th February, I'll be back in Manila. For those of you have friends who is interested, kindly let us know so that we will be able to invite your friend for the introductory workshop that's happening in Manila. Now, also upcoming, we're going to go back to Cebu and Davao. So I'm going to give you the Cebu and Davao dates next week, right? Now, next week is your children's session. This is towards your goals, right? Then on the 27th, you got love language and then understanding love languages, right? Now, we will work on some of the things that you shared with us today. And then on March, parent session, let's talk about financial literacy, okay? Right? Now, parents, if there's any more questions, please drop me an email, okay, to grow, all right? So thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful 1 hour. I'll talk to you guys again. Take care.